Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and today we're going to be taking a look at some news for Harvestella. For those of you who don't remember, Harvestella was revealed a few months back as Square Enix's upcoming farming sim slash RPG. Now, fans of a franchise known as Rune Factory have told me that, based on what they saw, it would be a lot like that. But as someone without that experience, to me, it looked like Stardew Valley in 3D meets Final Fantasy, and I've been dying to learn more about the game before its release later this year. Fortunately, over on the Square Enix blog, they actually posted a deeper look into Harvestella. Apparently, this is the second closer look, so I missed the first one. My apologies, I'll have to take a look at that in my spare time. But this one goes over things like socializing with NPCs, crops, fishing, and even jobs and party members, which is not something that, well, I knew was coming to this game, so this is all brand new to me. Not to mention, the artwork is beautiful. I really like the art style of this game. It's almost like a taller version of Bravely Default with most of the characters, and the artwork for the actual characters, the 2D artwork, looks really nice. So here we have, in June, we revealed Harvestella, a new life simulation RPG that launches November 4th. It's right there with God of War, I forgot. Oh no. On the Nintendo Switch and Steam. We gave you a close look at the game, showcasing the game's many depths, from farming, crafting, and socializing to fast-paced and strategic combat. Even so, we know you want to know more, so we thought we'd give you a new look at the game. Read on and we'll reveal one of the visually beautiful towns and a key resident. Take a look at some of the seasonal crops you can cultivate, a new job to take on monsters with, and more. Before that, however, let's briefly recap those of you who missed the initial announcement about Harvestella. The new game is a life simulation RPG that lets you enjoy daily life, socializing, and adventuring. In daily life, you can spend a relaxing day farming, fishing, or raising livestock, before heading to town to socialize and build your relationships with residents. If you want to test your combat skills, you can step into a dungeon to take on hordes of monsters with a variety of weapons and jobs. Sounds right up my alley. I'm actually a big fan of life sims. I know I don't produce any content on them, but that's just because I don't normally produce content on them, but I'm a big fan of them, so I'm really digging that this is a combination of the two, and it makes me want to try out Rune Factory based on the recommendations. Whatever you do, time passes through the seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But between each one is a fifth season, Quietus. During this time, crops wither and die, and a deadly dust keeps people trapped indoors. You'll need to plan around the changing seasons and grim inevitability of Quietus as you attempt to solve the mysteries behind the season of death. So that's kind of like the core plot of the game. Even though it is a life sim, the plot of this Quietus thing is the driving factor that pushes the more traditional RPG elements, like the combat, like the jobs, like the party members, as apparently they talk about in this little reveal. So first we have the town spring of Nema. Now this view you're seeing of it is actually kind of like a world map style view. They showed this in the trailer, and you'll basically follow around paths in a kind of a descaled world, like a world map traditionally does. Welcome to Nema. We get this beautiful city, lots of white, a lot of very bright colors from the leaves. Actually, it could be pink. I remember, I'm colorblind, so forgive me if it's not white. I shouldn't even try to be identifying it by color, but at least you know that to my terrible eyes, no matter what this, now that I see this picture, it looks like it's probably pink. The second picture and the shadows in the first one really exemplify that, but at least you know how bad my eyes are now. Either way, it's a pretty looking city, very much a one note in terms of the color design, regardless of what color it is. In this beautiful town, the flowers bloom all year round due to the influence of the nearby spring seas light. I'm assuming these seas lights are going to be playing a pretty vital role, as it looks to be a giant crystal of some kind. We did see these in the trailer, but we didn't really know much about them. Once night falls, the town shows a different side. Cherry blossom dance against the night sky in a dreamlike display. And my cats are really annoyed that I'm recording right now, as I hear her digging at the carpet. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you. Cherry blossoms dance against the night sky in a dreamlike display. You can see them here. You can even see kind of the background up at the top of this image in the center of the screen that displays that. I don't know why my mouse wasn't showing. And you see them running around. Despite its beauty, there is trouble in the town of Nema. A giant egg has appeared on the spring seas light, one of the giant crystals, there you go, that governs the seasons. Ever since, unfamiliar monsters have been flying into town and attacking the residents. Yeah, that's not good. We have Azel here, who's got a pretty cool design. I like his little shoulder pad right there. It's fine. You have to be careful not to push yourself too hard. When you visit Nemea, you become involved with the investigation of the Seaslight alongside Azel, a member of the Argus Brigade that protects the town. There's the crystal off in the distance, and there's another show of the crystal. You can see the spring Seaslight from the observation deck in Nemea. Your group sets out to investigate the Seaslight. There wasn't really anything I felt in the original trailer that suggested a party, so now I just have to hope the AI isn't bad. That's my only hope at this point. Azel, but we'll need to be on our toes from here on out. The inside will be teeming with monsters. You can see they're kind of like at the basis of the Seaslight, which looks to be a more modern city. Kind of weird, like almost like a post-apocalyptic world, like that these Seaslights came out of. I wonder if their world is like built on top of an already destroyed civilization or something. Resident of Nemea is Atina. Now, remember when I said that the 2D artwork looked really good? That's a pretty solid example. It doesn't go for any of those more like Final Fantasy, you know, I guess the traditional look. They really do stick to kind of like defined colors and lines and whatnot, obviously, other than the kind of fog that's rolling out of her weapons right now. But I like it. It's representative of how the character will look mostly in the game. So Atina. Atina is a teacher who lives together with the children at the town's orphanage. She's intellectual, quiet, and rarely displays her emotions openly. She enjoys reading about different places in the world and often reads aloud to the children. While she's reading about them, she might as well come with us and be part of the adventure, as far as I'm concerned. And this is how she spends her days, and she's beloved by the townspeople. However, it's said that she only arrived in Nemea a few years ago. And then, apparently, upon meeting the protagonist, she must confront the past that she has kept hidden. Living after taking the life of another is not an easy thing to do. Well, that's a little bit of a look into, I guess, a part of her character. She's killed someone before, or at the very least, she's caused someone's death before. Now, adventure. Jobs. When it comes to battle, you have access to multiple jobs, which define the weapon and abilities you can use in combat. Last time we showed you the Fighter, Mage, and Shadow Walker jobs. That I missed. I didn't know they did a blog post on those jobs before this, so my bad, I guess. Or maybe I did, and I just don't remember. This time, we're revealing the Sky Lancer. The job uses a spear and excels at physical attacks with wind attributes. Dragoon. Because it learns many wide-range skills that take advantage of the spear's reach, the Sky Lancer is very useful when facing multiple enemies. Looking forward to that. When you recruit a character who has a certain job, the protagonist will also be able to use that job. I do like when games do that kind of system if they're going for a more social experience with lots of NPCs around the world. So hopefully this isn't just, 5 or 6. Hopefully this is more like 9 or 10-ish characters and jobs that we can get throughout the game. So apparently Azel is where you would unlock the Sky Lancer job. He's part of the Argus Brigade, so I guess they're all Sky Lancers. Then for socializing, you have character stories. Characters that can join you in battle as allies and other important characters each have their own character story. These stories focus on problems that each character faces. You got Braca here. It's this very brooding looking individual with a cloak and a hood. I don't remember telling you to be so casual with my info. And then as you progress their character stories, you actually gain closeness, basically reputation or improving your relationship with them. And then you can receive rewards or grant some benefits in combat. So almost like social links. Makes sense. I mean, again, it's socializing. So something that you can draw back to another game with prior experience. That's a good thing. I think that most people relatively enjoy having something that especially has tangible in-combat improvements. As long as the quests themselves are oh my goodness, Ivy, are done well enough, I suppose. Then they just have some daily life stuff. They go over some of the crops. So farming is one of the many daily life activities you can do in Harvestella. By planting crops and tending to them diligently, you'll be able to harvest them to either sell or use in crafting or cooking. Ivy, come here. If you're gonna be annoying, come be part of the video. There you go. There you go. Some produce can be harvested all year round, but some fruits and vegetables can only be grown during a specific season. So here's some of the spring crops. You have a Nemean tomato, a Wisty peach, cucumber emoji. Good thing it's not an eggplant. A cucumber, okay. Wait, so we can call these a peach and a tomato, but a cucumber, no, call it a cucumber. Wait, and a straw buddy. Wait, why are two of these fruits just normal fruits? Like peaches and tomatoes, and then we got cucumbers and who has the copyright on strawberries and cucumbers? Come on now. Spring cuisine. I'm just joking, by the way. Scraps can be used as ingredients for meals. And here are some things. Apologies if your stomach gets rumbling. I just ate, so I'm good. You got bolognese. That's with the tomato. You've got a peach rose mousse. That looks really, that makes me want cake. What's it called? A zucchini and mint sandwich. Interesting. I like doing zucchini chips where you chop up a zucchini thin and then put it on a baking sheet with a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of shredded Parmesan. And then it melts into like this Parmesan zucchini chip, and it's really nice. Oh, now I really need cake. Oh, a straw. Wait a minute. So those are called straw buddies, but the cake is called a strawberry shortcake. Why not a straw buddy shortcake? Of course, there are many more types of special spring produce you can grow and plenty more meals to make, but to publish more pictures of food would just be cruel. Fair. I'm going to a grocery store later. Fishing! A game has fishing. You know you're going to like it. That's not always true. But it's good to know that it has fishing. Not that anyone's surprised by this. Once you get a fishing rod, you can find a fishing point. Then you can cast your line and catch a fish. Just as with crops grown on your farm, you can ship fish for money or keep them to use in cooking. What you can catch depends on your location and other conditions. Perhaps you can even catch something other than a fish. Maybe like a boot. I mean like a boot, not like, I'm not saying about, but a boot. You can even upgrade your fishing rod, which will let you catch even rarer fish. Wow. Please learn how to speak. Daily life shipping. You can actually take your crops. You can earn money in Harvestella by shipping fruit and vegetables that you harvest from your fields. Ooh, what's that? 1 pumpkin? Yo, why is a pumpkin so expensive? All this, only 3 wheat. I can understand why that's not, but a pumpkin is that much? Damn. Then we have the flour mill. You can use machines that you've crafted to create processed goods, which ship for an even higher price. Nice. We hope you enjoyed this brief look at Harvestella. Of course, this barely scratches the surface. There'll be more to see it do when the game launches on November 4th. We'll have more to share about the game as we get closer, so make sure to bookmark the blog. That was a really good look. There's a lot more depth and excitement for this game than I think I would have anticipated. If you had told me that Square Enix was making a game like this, I'm not going to lie, my first response would probably be to try to figure out what's going to be kind of screwed up. You know, we've seen a lot of attempts at some new IPs in recent years, and they've been really hit or miss with Square Enix. Even amongst their more established IPs, I'd say they've been rather hit or miss. But when they hit, they hit. Even if when they miss, they miss. So with all the other titles they have coming out in this fall season, I'm really excited about this one in particular. It might be the one I'm most excited about. It has elements of games and genres that I really, really enjoy, and as long as they're executed in a fun, well thought out manner, on top of the traditional RPG elements like the characters and the stories and the socializing, there's just little bits and pieces from everything, and they're all things that I'm looking forward to. I've yet to really see a negative, like a thing that I'm worried about or that I don't think will go okay. So that's a pretty good sign. I'm hoping this game does really, really well and that it's not the last we see of Harvestella, but I'll cover any other news we get about Harvestella here on the channel, well, when it actually happens. I promise this time. Anyway, thanks for watching. I got to get working on some 14 videos as well. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for Square Enix news, whether it be about Final Fantasy or Harvestella. Anyway, thanks, and until next time, take care.